Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the month of March 2022. This reading is intended for Gemini Sun and Rising. Gemini Moons may also find messages here, so you may want to watch also. Cross watchers are always welcome. If you haven't watched the collective reading, I recommend you do that because I go deeper into the energy of the collective card, which is the Hermit for this month in that video. So this video zeroes in on how that energy is meant to show up and be focused on specifically for you, Gemini. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. It lets YouTube know that you think my content is valuable and you want to see more of it. So without further ado, let's jump into your reading. So before we pull your focus card, let me go ahead and move my deck to the side. We're going to shake up some astro dice and see what house, what planet, and what sign might be especially important for you this month. Let's see. All right. So the moon, and we got the fourth house, and we have Virgo. So maybe you want to check out what house your moon is placed in, what sign, where Virgo is in your natal chart, and what sign your fourth house is in, what activity is going on with these three things. And then also if we want to put these things together and just read them as regular divination, there might be a focus on home and family for you this month. And it's interesting because the moon is ruled by Cancer, and Cancer is the natural ruler of the fourth house. So really a double emphasis there for you on maybe, your emotions, how you're feeling, how your family is feeling. But really, and then, being that the fourth house is the IC, it's opposite the midheaven. It's the most personal, private part of our chart. What are some things that you're dealing with privately that you really have not wanted to let the world see, or that you've been dealing with privately, that you're reflecting on with this Hermit energy this month. And then also, we have, did I say Virgo? I'm so sorry if I said that. Scorpio, which really goes along with that, is really deep underworld work, where you're maybe transforming some things about yourself, or transforming, some things are changing within your family, or really the way that you felt about, aspects of, home and family are really going through a deep transformation. So many ways that could be read, but, look at the activity that's going on in your fourth house, what aspects or big transits are happening with your moon, and then also what house Scorpio rules for you, because this is a general reading, but our birth charts are very personal to us. And if you don't have a copy of your birth chart, in the description box, I do have a link where you can get a copy of your birth chart. And I use whole sign houses, which, just line up each house with at 0 degrees with a sign. So no matter where your ascendant is, like your first house, say, you are a Gemini rising, even if you're a 12-degree Gemini rising, your first house starts at 0 degrees. I like that. I like the simplicity of it, the cleanness of it. But you can use any house system that you prefer. But, look at where your moon is. Look at what your fourth house is doing. If anything is crossing your IC, which is the cusp, it could be the cusp of your fourth house, or it could be within your fourth house. And then also, where Scorpio is, and if you have any, major planets in Scorpio, what aspects are coming, making aspects from transits from other planets. Excuse me, I'm getting all tripped up. But our natal charts are very personal, and that is going to be different for everybody, no matter who you are, as a Gemini. So the first card that we're going to pull is a focus card for you. And this is what aspects, Spirit, your guides, whoa, that's too many, your ancestors, whatever source you believe in, your higher self, wants to focus on for, within the Hermit for the month of March for you, Gemini. And I've changed the way that I do this. No matter whether it comes out in the reverse or upright, I'm going to read it upright, just as if it were a collective card specifically for you. So as we learn and go along, with these readings monthly, I learn a little bit more about how I want to structure these readings. So let's get a focus card for Gemini. One focus card for Gemini. So with the moon, I can already tell, like, there's, especially with Scorpio here. Okay. Let's trying to feel the star. I think the star, yeah, that's it. Let's see what's on the bottom. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So with that moon and Scorpio and the 4th house, it's like really, things that are very personal to you, very private. You could be dealing with some personal traumas, even that go back to childhood, is what I'm seeing with these dice. And especially here with the star, like, the Hermit deals with reflection and wisdom and a period of introspection. I go more into that in the collective video. And, I got the sense that the collective is going to be dealing with some really heavy, energy, or really difficult, thoughts and, feelings this month. The Hermit is ruled by Virgo, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the mind. So this might be a period of reflection, about how you feel about, your upbringing, your past, and there might be some traumas that come up to be healed for you. And, if we think about the 4th house, 10th house axis, it's like, how am I trying to, integrate or, heal those traumas, and so that I can move more towards my 10th house of how I want to, what do I want to be known for in the world that is, not rooted in, what others have tried to define for me, because that can happen a lot with 4th house energy. When we're children, children don't have the capacity really to question, as much of, their people in authority, or, people that are very close to them in family. It just is kind of automatic where, you might feel a sense of loyalty to them and not understand at some points where, boundaries are being crossed. And what I'm seeing with the star is like really inviting spirit in. And this is a time of renewal and healing for you. Because this comes after the Tower, where we've really done some underworld work. The Tower is ruled by Mars, which, is a, Scorpio is one of the traditional rulers, and also Aries is, also, traditional ruler. But, it's a lot of, action happening in that card where, people are falling out of the Tower. It's shaking up the comfort that comes from being enclosed in something, that we've been in that actually may not be for us. But in the Tower, we're freed, and, spirit is there, to help heal us. And that really is a beautiful energy, especially because this card pairs with the Strength card, which was our collective card last month. The Star is card 17. When you reduce 1 and 7 together, that's an 8. So it's like almost like you're carrying that energy of really learning how to show up as your authentic self, which might have to do with healing some trauma and really recognizing how you feel about some things, from your upbringing, or even how it's showing up in your, your home and your family now. How can I continue that healing? Because it is helping me to live more authentically and to love myself and love, not only the parts of myself that are easy, to love the messy parts and, the parts of myself that, were needed reparenting, because I didn't get what I needed as a child. Maybe that's really the sense that I'm getting there for you, Gemini. So let me grab an oracle card that kind of gives us a little bit more information and bridges these two cards together about the frequency that you'll be working with, merging this Hermit energy and Star energy for the month of March. And whoa, that was way too many, but this one did kind of come out by itself. I'm not sure. Let's see. If it comes out again, it was meant to be, but all those cards came out at one time, and sometimes I can tell when a card jumps out in a pile and it's meant to come out. Okay. All right. Okay, well, we got heart chakra and the other one was romantic love. So, okay, we're dealing with fourth house and the moon, very personal. Scorpio, also very, deep water sign, fixed water. And we got the heart chakra here, card 4. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. Okay, so really, really doing some heart healing, and I was feeling that. Like the moon, to me, it's our emotions. It's what we feel. We feel a lot of things, in our heart, and, especially things that, harken back to a time, when we were children, or, that have to do with home and family. It's very close to the heart. Oh, look at that. I'm not even recognizing. Look, we got fourth house, and this is card 4, which, is also, it corresponds to the Emperor in the tarot. So it's like really setting a foundation of being rooted and grounded, not feeling untethered, in difficult emotions and being swept out to sea. Because Scorpio is really able to handle some really hard emotions, or, go deeply into them and not shy away from those feelings, that are really deep and uncomfortable. They do a lot of healing around this. And then the star is ruled by Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign that deals with the collective conscious. So, being that you're doing, some work that really, signifies something so private in your life, it could be that you are reaching out to community, to, to groups, or, really, even the Hermit is like, the wisdom that other people have is very healing for you. So it could be, support groups that are figuring very prominently in your day to day, during the month of March. So the next cards that I'm going to pull for you are some chakra cards that will give us a little bit more information, Gemini, about the month of March for you. Okay, 2 cards. Oh. Okay, so we got one here. Let's see. Okay, so finances. Okay, so might be having some really emotional feelings, about trying to sort out some, some financial difficulties. That could be a possibility. Sorting out finances in the home, maybe making a budget. That Scorpio energy is, being a water sign. It's like, and also with the moon there, what is your relationship to money? There might be a little bit of a need for change around that, some introspection and reflection. What's your relationship to money is, and what kind of importance do you put on that, to either your detriment or your benefit? So something that might come up for Gemini this month. Oh my God. Okay. And look, another heart chakra card, love. Okay. So love and finances, love and money. They might be, a little bit of a teeter-totter between those two things, or like, what is figuring more prominently? What do I want to focus on more? Where is my, what do I really want to place more importance on in my life? And I'm really feeling that it's less about finances and more about living, from a place of love, because, there's material abundance, and then there is the kind of abundance that money just can't buy. You know what I mean? Like, we all need money. It's realistic. That's just life. But money isn't everything. And sometimes when we are holding on too tight, or focusing too much on, what we have or don't have in the bank, to the detriment of our relationships, we can cause more hardships financially for ourselves. Like if we're driving people away, especially with this home and family, or that could be someone doing that to you, and that ends up putting you in more of a financial bind. Like, there's that saying, it's cheaper to keep her. I'm not saying that that's definitely the situation, but, just living in a sense of balance, is what I'm seeing. So, an imbalance in your emotions, around finances, not letting it activate you, where you are feeling a sense of scarcity, because maybe that's where this fourth house energy is coming from. Maybe you grew up not having access to resources, and you are doing better than you've done before, and it could be scary. We're living in a time where, your fortune can change just like that. Uranus in Taurus, Taurus is a sign that is, that deals with finances, and Uranus is big upsets. The star is here. Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. So, that could really overactivate that root chakra and shut down your heart space. And you could be overly identifying with what's in the bank rather than, the people in your life. So just remember that, like, remain in a hopeful space and definitely lean on your community. Definitely, like, don't shut yourself off from, the people in your life, by focusing on things that, you may or may not be able to control, because sometimes financial issues are just so out of our hands. That's not always the case, but it can be. And that's just a message that I'm hearing. It may not be for everyone. So the first card that we're going to pick, okay, is where you are at the start of the month, Gemini. Okay, and we got the Empress. And this is a card that's ruled by Venus. Venus has a lot to do with the heart chakra. It also has to do with abundance, all types of abundance, but I was just talking about that. And look, there's a moon in this card. We're dealing with moon energy, but, she is a divine creator, and that doesn't necessarily mean, I know that she is pregnant with the universe, or the earth. It's like Earth Mother in this card. That doesn't mean that necessarily that's what you want. With the fourth house, it could be wanting to expand your family and being worried about finances. That definitely could be a possibility for some of you. But really just focusing on the ways that you can be more centered in this earthy, Venusian love energy, which is really, really beautiful for you, especially with the star energy that is hopeful, with the heart chakra. So, with the Hermit, it's like very, very introspective about wanting, to be in this energy. And that, I'm going to pull a clarifier too, because sometimes the majors, they happen to us, or it's a desire that we have for ourselves. And let's see what the Empress at the start of the month means. Okay. We got it clarified by the Nine of Cups with another moon there. The Nine of Cups is really wanting, you know, our wishes to be fulfilled, to be satisfied, you know, and usually the Nine of Cups deals with, you know, any nine is, you know, it's not the 10, it's not the house, the family, the picket fence. This is like really a sense of, you know, a satisfaction of like what you can have and build for yourself. You know, that's why with this fourth house energy, with this dice, I was really feeling like dealing with fourth house issues from childhood, especially like old traumas, so that you can reach up into your 10th house, you know, being that those are opposite each other, you know, and really fulfill what it is that you feel like you've come here to do and to create. That is really, really, it feels important to really do that. And what I'm seeing now is like, if your fourth, you know, this fourth house in, you know, in Scorpio, the 10th house would be Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And here we have love and heart chakra. So it's like really thinking of the ways that, you know, of what you want to be known for, you know, and those wishes being fulfilled of you being, you know, abundant and secure and safe, but also able to expand. You know, threes deal with creativity. Threes are also, if I am correct, they're either ruled by Mercury or Mars. Okay, I'm going to take that back because I can't remember which one in numerology, but you know, this card is ruled by Venus, and it has a very Taurus flavor to me. So really wanting to expand into that and feeling, you know, especially with your moon, almost as if like you're trying to feel what it would feel like in your heart chakra, what that would feel like, so that you can almost get into the mindset of creating that life for yourself, of moving towards your 10th house, is the sense that I'm getting. Okay, so the next card that we're gonna get pull is a challenge that might arise for you this month, Gemini. So one card, a challenge that might arise for Gemini. And you know, this finances, it really could be that there's something very Venusian that you want to make a career out of that will pay dividends, and you won't have to worry about money if you struggled, you know, in your childhood with lack, or feeling like you didn't have enough. You know, not a scarcity mindset, like real life scarcity. Like, how are we going to keep the lights on? How is food going to be on the table? That can create real fear and imbalance in our root chakra. So definitely, if I'm talking about, you know, fear around finances, it's valid. You know, we live in, you know, a world right now where resources are scarce, you know, and it's scary, you know, to feel like you can lose what you have, even if you don't have a lot. So, you know, it's like reaching that 10th house, like, you know, really wanting to build something for yourself that's abundant and that, you know, you can leave a legacy, right? Because 10th house, you know, corresponds with Capricorn, and Capricorn, you know, is our legacy. It's, you know, what came before us and what comes after us, you know, so wanting to leave that for, you know, your family. I'm really feeling that energy. So what's a challenge that might arise for you this month, Gemini? And I have one card for Gemini. Show me clearly. Oh, okay. And your card just went on the floor. Let me go get it. Okay. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So this is, I'm seeing two things here. Four of Pentacles in reverse could be not feeling grounded and safe around security, like material security. And then also, like I was picking up in the beginning of the reading, different messages for different people, excuse me, that you could feel overly identified with material wealth, or the materials that you have, and like feel like you have to hold on so tightly to them. because of fear that they might go away. So, that could be a challenge for you this month, which was really what I was feeling, with this finances. And what is, the opposite element of Pentacles? It's Cups. So really think about the ways that you can allow, those feelings of like holding really, tightly and gripping onto those feelings. How can you create a little bit more spaciousness, a little bit more of an expansive energy, around, that aspect of your life? And practically that's not easy day to day, especially if finances are a challenge for you, or, just being grounded and centered in general, is really challenging. But look at that. I just pulled a clarifier and Knight of Cups. So this to me, again, this is expressing, what you wish to really see in your life. Knights are air, and the cups, cups are water. So, this is communication about what it is that is very meaningful to you. And maybe that expression of gratitude for what you do have will allow some spaciousness around your heart chakra, where you don't feel so bound up. You can feel a little bit more hopefulness. And maybe that's expressing, to your guides. It could be expressing in a group, or, to a special someone, but just not holding it in. Do you see in the upright, like she's holding this, this satchel, this purse, and her head is turned away. It's like she's not hearing, communicating, seeing anyone. It's like, I don't think so. But, in the reverse, it's like, how can you loosen a little bit? How can you really allow yourself to, express what it is that you're feeling about it? And then maybe it won't feel so, catastrophic. It won't feel so, so scary, especially because we're starting off March in Pisces season. And Pisces rules the moon card in the major arcana, where it's like, we don't understand. We don't know what we don't know. And it can really give us a sense of anxiety and fear, about what's coming, down the barrel, or, where is this money going to come from? Or, what's going to happen if this happens? It's like we can what if ourselves to death and really, be anxious, and it could be that we are expending all this energy worrying, where if we just talk it out, we may not feel so alone, right? So really, really think about that in those moments where if you feel that tightening, that, in your body, because also the Pentacle suit really, earth, our bodies are earthly. If you feel any tightness in your body, and it's really, pay attention to your thoughts around, what are you thinking when you feel that? You might need to talk it out with someone. Okay, and let's see, these next cards, you got two cards, are like how to tackle this challenge and take decisive action. And just instantly feeling these two, they didn't want to come out in the reverse. So you got the Temperance card, which already, look at this, it's about alchemy. It's a blending of fire and water. So it's, and also, there's an angel in this card. So it's like leaning on spirit, and also, leaning into your passion and not abandoning your emotions. There's an element of, fire and water are two things, that don't necessarily blend. There's an element of magic that makes that happen. So it's not something that we can do by ourselves. Just like in the Star card, like we have to lean on something that is bigger than ourselves. So if you, and that's not to say that if you're an atheist and you don't believe in anything, that, there is nothing out there to help you. Not saying that at all, but just, being open to the ways that, even if what you believe in is yourself, allowing something bigger in, allowing, a sense of hope and spaciousness in, allowing, fire is life force energy. Water is, emotional flow. This feels very stagnant, allowing it to really flow in your life. And then also Four of Wands, just like I was saying, like let your energy move, ground your energy, because with this Four of Pentacles, it could be that you're holding on tight, but your energy is going haywire because you're worried and you're stressed out. In the collective reading, I was feeling a lot of stress, a lot of activation in the collective, in our bodies. So see how these two people are dancing and they're, allowing themselves to feel joyful and feel that expression, get into that heart chakra, get into, the frequency of, love, and do something that you love, that could really affect your energy. And that could be where like you're leaning on and asking for help, from your community and not trying to do everything by yourself, because it can be really hard, it can be hard to ask for help, but that's where humility comes in, and the heart chakra can really help with that. But then too, it can be hard just for me to say that to you of like, change your energy. Like that's not practical, and don't take that as me oversimplifying it. It's not. It's a process. And be patient with yourself. This hermit energy is really meant to be a time of reflection. And maybe you're thinking about the ways that you can be more vulnerable and ask, invite more of this energy in to help you with these challenging situations so that you can express when you need a timeout to replenish yourself, when you need to express to spirit, hey, I can't do this by myself. So let me go ahead and pull your final tarot card. And this is where you may be by the end of the month. So let's see, one card for Gemini. Where may Gemini be by the end of the month? One card for Gemini. Okay. Two of Swords. So really listening to your intuition and also balancing it with logic. Look, Son of Cups, this is air and water. This is air and water. The twos are related to the High Priestess, which is really listening to your higher self. She's really tuned into the mysteries. And just like I talked about, we're ringing in Pisces season, which is very moon energy. It's, related to the 12th house, the house of the collective unconscious. But we have the Hermit here, which is its opposite energy, Virgo, very analytical. So really balancing the heart and the mind, not leaning too much on one or the other. If there are any decisions that you have to make between love and money, really not allowing, yourself to get too much into your head or be too emotional about it either. All things in balance, right? Which is what I'm seeing with that too. It's really a duality, and letting your higher self, letting your guides, letting spirit, help to heal some of those fears and insecurities that you may, have that crop up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull some oracle cards that will give some information about the rest of the month, about just extra advice for you, Gemini, about how to navigate March. Okay, let me move some of this to the side. Okay, what messages for Gemini do we have? Okay. Oh. Rest. Okay. So rest, and I don't feel like this is like sleep rest. I feel like this is restorative, and then it could be a little bit of both as well, where in the Star it's a sense of renewal, Hermit energy, where you're in a period of reflection and spending a little bit more time with yourself, but also having a little bit of fun. You know, there's stars here, there's hearts here, you know, but resting in a way that replenishes you when you feel depleted, you know, that really fills up your cups. So that is something that's going to be important for you, Gemini, this month. Let's see what else we get here. One more card for Gemini. There we go. Okay. Deep intuition. Okay, so your intuition, just like I said, with this Two of Swords, is really at work. We have the Nine of Cups. There's lots of moon energy here, Scorpio energy, you know, that listen to it. Listen to your inner high priestess. Listen to your guides. You know, with the star, Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, I really relate to the crown chakra. Like their crown chakra is really lit up, and it just feels like you have a lot of divine guidance on your side this month, and that you're very intuitive, but just, you know, you might need to open your heart a little bit so that you'll be open to the messages when they come through. If you're feeling a little bit, if you're in a place where you're not rooted, you might miss some of, you know, what intuitively your higher self and your guides and ancestors are trying to communicate to you. So just really rest, so that you feel like you're in a space to receive, and, you know, maybe do some intuitive work in that period where maybe you're doing some meditative work, or, you know, some heart chakra meditations. So the next cards that we're going to pull are some essential oil oracles, and they have some ways to reframe some thoughts. So if you have certain thoughts that need reframing, okay. So release, tension. Okay, I was noticing I said something about that with tension. Trigger statement, I have nothing left. And that could be finances. That could feel like a sense of being depleted. Trigger statement, I have nothing left. True statement, I nurture myself. Rest, okay? Dear one, it is time to settle. Create a sacred space where you can be. In that place of rest, healing will unfold. The star, all about healing. Temperance, let spirit in. You know, your angels, your guides, your higher self wants to communicate with you. You know, and you can't do this on your own if you're really trying to, you know, trying to just go it alone and white knuckle it. The Hermit, even though he's isolated, you know, he's not isolated, I'm sorry, he's in a period of, you know, being separated. He's not isolating himself to the point where he would not reach out if he needed, you know, help from someone else, because he is infinitely wise, and he knows how to express himself, what he needs. Virgo, that's Earth, Mercury energy. Okay, so let's pull one more of those. Okay, one more message for Gemini. Okay. Let's see. Independence, Pettigrain. Trigger statement, I am just like my mother, father, what have you. Very fourth house. True statement, I am free to choose. Oh my God. Okay, this is like freaking me out. You are ready to break free of the conditioning that has bound you so that you may continue your journey of healing and growth. Okay? That is really like going deep, Scorpio, into that fourth house energy, and releasing those emotions that, you know, I'm just like my mother, my father. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like this person. And I see myself acting out of, you know, this or that. And true statement is you're free to choose. Like, I'm assuming if you're watching this video that you're a grown up, like you have permission to choose your own path. And you have the wisdom, you know, and just start living from your heart space. And, you know, the hope, you know, you're in a place of renewal and healing where you don't have to go back there. You can make a new family if the one that you came from is not how you want to raise your own. Create your own fourth house. And that can be chosen family. It can be the family that you make with your partner, what have you. But you can choose for yourself what it is that you want for your life. Love that message. Okay, so let's pull, okay, another oracle card for Gemini. What's a crowning message for Gemini? Okay. All right, detox, cleanse and restore yourself. Okay, that goes with the star as well. Another 3, just like the Empress. Okay, really rest. That you're really needing to clear and cleanse and, create space in that heart chakra, that hermit, alone time that you spend, allow yourself, to let that inner wisdom guide you to, giving yourself some replenishment and restoration, because that is everything. That is what the star is all about. Okay, so I'm gonna pull 3 cards for you that your guides, your ancestors, your higher self would like you. There's some suggestions for self-care for the month of March, and the first one you got was focus. Okay, so, and she's holding a camera. It could be, focusing on yourself, really. Maybe get in some selfie time, if you're looking at this literally, but, take time to really focus on your intuition, what, your heart is trying to say to you. This 2 of Swords, what's your heart and your mind? What are they trying to communicate? And live in balance. Temperance is all about balance as well. Let's get 2 more cards for Gemini. What kind of self-care can they benefit from for the month of March? Okay. Oh, nature. Okay. And look, there's a lot of green in this card. It relates to the heart chakra. And nature is very grounding as well. It can really help root you. So, even if you can't get outside, just connecting to your body is a way that you can connect to nature, right? We're all part of nature. If you have pets, pet your cat or your dog, or, feed and nourish yourself. If you have herbs or plants, in your house, tend to them. Any ways that you can introduce nature. And if you can get outside, definitely, take your shoes off and, plant your feet on the earth, plug your fingers into it, hug a tree, but just get some nature into your life, especially with this 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Earth in the reverse. Like, you really need some grounding, rooting, centering energy in this 4 with the heart chakra. Okay. All right. So let's get 1 more for Gemini with some self-care for the month of March. Okay. Let's see. Just keep going. Oh, that was too many. Come back here. It's like some days they want to fly out, other days they don't want to give it up. So let's see. Okay, I think that one wanted to come off. Okay. All right, and Taurus just got this one too, breakfast. Make sure that you're feeding yourself at regular intervals, Gemini, okay? Make sure that you eat in the morning. If that is something that you're not used to as part of your routine, it could really help you to stay grounded. If you're not feeding your body and taking care of your body, it can't take care of you, right? So breakfast might be something that, if you make it a routine this month, can really pay dividends in the future. Could be really restorative. If you do some, something with fresh fruits, or, even, smoothies, or I'm not sure, especially, what your finances look like, but what ways can you introduce natural foods, into your diet, whatever way that you can, that, your finances support, could be very helpful and healing for you, to start your day that way. You know, it could set you up, you know, the rest of the day. And then almost like, you know, carrying that on and on and on, you know, throughout the month can be a wonderful, you know, way to focus on yourself and tend to yourself. Okay. So thank you so much, Gemini. Those are all the messages that I'm seeing for you. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what resonated for you. And, you know, if you see someone else's comment, I think it would be interesting if we started responding to each other and creating a true community. I want to thank you for your presence, your time, and your energy. That's truly where the magic happens. Thank you to the collective guides and angels for these wonderful messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel with folks who could benefit from the messages. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. But stay safe, be gentle with yourselves, and I will see you again next month, okay? Bye, Gemini.